How you doing, Jefferson Multimedia? Let's review the basics for putting credits on any video. The credits at the end where you put who produced it, where you got your music from, and all of that cool legal stuff that we have to do to make sure everyone gets the credit that they deserve. First thing you want is you want a background to put those letters on. So guess what you click on? Yeah, background. You have several choices. We always want to put white letters on a darker background. So, curtain, this one's red, that would be good. Blobs, this is orange, that would be good to put white letters on. Underwater, yeah, fine. Gradient, ooh, that's dark. Industrial, really dark. So anything that's dark is good, but let me show you what to do if you pick a light colored background. We love this organic one, right? So if I double click it, it will be added to my timeline. Now I'm going to add 2 credits. So the first thing I want to do is make it longer than 4 seconds. I want to double it. I want to make it 8 seconds long. How do you do that? Let's find out. The end. Go to the arrows, stretch and pull. It's going to get longer, but you'll see your timer's moving. So I'm going to go to like 8 seconds, right? Whoa, it really overshot. So I'm going to back it up until it's 8 seconds, 13. See how weird this can be? That's right, friends. Don't get all freaked out. Sometimes you have to stretch it and do weird things with it. 8 seconds, 8 seconds, 8 seconds. There. Now there. So we want to put 2 graphics over the top of this. We want to have one that tells us who it's produced by, and then we want to have one that tells us where the music comes from. Now, we haven't talked about this slider yet. It's all the way to the right, which gives you max thumbnails. For an 8-second video, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 thumbnails, and a bunch more after that. If you're editing video and you need to see detail of exactly what happened second by second, this is great. But if you don't need all that detail, try sliding this back to halfway between left and right. If everything is really, really tiny down here and you can't see what's going on, click on Settings. You also might have a film strip. And if you turn the clip size up, guess what happens? It's bigger and easier to see. Isn't that swell? So we have our background. We have it set for a decent number of thumbnails. We don't need to see a bajillion thumbnails if the picture never changes, like this one. It just zooms in a little bit, right? So let's add our titles to that. Remember, titles and credits are the same thing. Click on titles. There are only 3 that I want you to use, and they're right in a row. Centered, horizontal blur, and zoom. These are the only 3 I want you to use, and here's why. With these 3 graphics, you can change the font and you can change the size. With the other graphics, you can't. You're kind of stuck with what they give you. And many times, the text will be too small, so we can't see it. So, centered is really boring. There's no movement, there's no nothing, it just kind of sits there. I like zoom because it has a little bit of movement to it, so I'm going to click, I'm going to drag, I'm going to drop. Notice, it's set for 4 seconds. Let's add a second one, because I want to have 2 credits. I want to have one that says produced by, and then I want to have, there we go, I want to have the one that states the music. Now, notice anything about this? It's really hard to read, isn't it? We have white on top of white. So, most of the graphics you don't have to do this for, but if this is the one you choose, this is always the mistake we make. We put white on white. We can't read anything. Your credits need to be white on a dark color. So let me show you how to fix that if you have this white background. Click on your color palette. You have several sliders here. The one to the left will control brightness. See how that made it darker and the white letters pop out a little bit more? You can get a little weirder with it if you want. This slider will take you from blue in color to yellow in color. Notice how it's easier to read both of these. I'm going with the blue because it's darker than the yellow. That's just my thing. So now I want to add my text right here. Go to the purple line and double click it. You want to delete all the text that's there. Your main title should be in all capitals, produced by, and then I'll hit return. Did you know that return and enter mean the same thing? So if I say press enter, that means press return. If I say press return, that means press enter. It's always the same button, and I use them interchangeably because the words mean the same thing. If I say press enter, that just means press return, right? Right. So next comes my name. What do I want to do? Capitalize the first letter, and the first letter only. Thank you very much. So produced by Stephen Hepler. Click back to the beginning, and you hit your space bar for play, and it will fade in. Now, we want to add the name of my music for the second credit because Stephen Hepler's working for me. So I double-click. Wait, what is the name of the song? I forget. Let's find out. Go to the top. Click on Audio, and your songs will pop up. Ooh, it was called Follow Your Heart. It's by a guy named Neil Cross, and I know it comes from Audio Blocks. This one's done. We want to add our second credit, so click on it, whatever it's called, double-click, Music. The name of the song again was Follow Your Heart. The name of the composer, Neil Cross. And audioblocks.com was the name of the website, right? So let's click off, which means click on anywhere but the purple bars where you just added. And let's see how it looks. I want to add a crossfade going into that because that's just the way I roll. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to change the duration to 0.5. And let's see how it works. Crossfade to the first graphic. Crossfade to the second. It's a little glitchy because I'm doing the graphics rendering and the screen capture at the same time on my computer, but trust me, it will look really good for you. We do need to do a fade out at the end. You see this one called fade to black? Yeah. Click it, drag it, let it go. It's made this a little bit shorter, so let's stretch it out a little bit. 8 seconds, there we go. And just make sure that the graphic goes from the beginning to the end. Give that a shot. We'll see how it looks. Fade out for number 2. And that's how to add credits and a fade out. Remember, with most of the other credits, you won't need to change the color. But with this one, you did, because white on white never works. You always want to have white on a dark background. But that is how to do your credits. It's been fun. I'll see you tomorrow.